Hello. Welcome to this week's journal entry. Can we all just agree that last week was a doozy? I had such a rough week. Actually, the start of Monday was great. And then I got the call from Griffin's daycare that he had thrown up at school and that I had to go and pick him up. And so I did that. And then it was just, even the day before, Sunday, he was super whiny, which probably he wasn't feeling well. Then Monday he got sick, and it was his last week before his summer break, and it was a short week, so he only was going to go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so he stayed home Tuesday, super whiny and ornery. I did send him to school on Wednesday, so I had one day to myself, but I was just like exhausted and had so much to do. And then he was home Thursday. Friday I caught the stomach bug. It's been a lot. And I shared that on social media, and everyone that responded said that they also had a doozy of a week. So I feel you if you are in the thick of it. And funnily enough, I've been talking a lot about human design, and I logged into the human design app that I have on my phone, and the theme that they have been talking about is how it's been like a rough week cosmically, and how if you have been feeling like burnt out and exhausted and just like really in this rough space mentally, it can be a time for you to look at the things that are exhausting you and use it as a message to actively get rid of some things, like stop doing certain things or delegate or just reprioritize the things in your life. So I thought that was interesting. Anyways, today's topic is a little bit more on human design because I talked about it last week, and then I kept getting the question from you guys of this is super interesting, but now that I know my human design, now what? How can I navigate my life differently now that I know my design? Or how can I live in alignment with what I'm supposed to be, quote unquote, right? So knowing your human design and journaling through it, in my experience, is how you can feel that difference and make a shift in how you show up and continue feeling a more positive way about your life and about yourself and about the direction that you're going in. I journaled through the 4 main components of my human design chart, and there are a lot of components. If you look up your chart, it is overwhelming. There's so many different aspects that you can 1000% dig into. And there's actually people that do human design chart readings that dig into all of it. But I've witnessed a lot of growth just from the 4 main areas, which is the type, authority, profile, and strategy. Your energy type is how your energy functions. Your authority is basically your decision maker, how to follow your intuition in making decisions so that you can make decisions quicker. Your profile is how your personality operates before you are conditioned to operate otherwise. And your strategy is how you strategically bring in opportunities. And then something else that I kind of tie in with strategy is what I call your alignment feelings. It's how you know when you are in alignment with your human design and how you know when you're not in alignment. You might feel really bitter when you're not in alignment, and you might feel really successful when you are, but those feelings are different for everybody. So when you take the time to journal through these areas, 3 things can happen. Number 1, you trust yourself more and you stop doubting yourself, which will help you in so many areas of your life. One example is you'll say no more often. You'll stop being that person that just defaults to saying yes because you don't have the confidence to stand up for yourself, and all of the feelings that you feel when you say no towards someone, they won't be there because you trust yourself and your worth. And so that's one example, one teeny tiny example of how that will impact you. Number 2, you'll make quicker decisions, which I've been talking a lot about, but if you haven't realized yet, making quicker decisions has a huge impact on you. Making quicker decisions will free up your time mentally and emotionally. It'll free up your headspace so that you can be more present with those that you love and care about and are just with. And even like it'll free up the time between choosing what restaurant you want to go to or which household chore you want to do, right? You have like 15 things you want to do and you spend all your time debating which one you want to do and then you never end up doing it. Or even which career path you want to take. You'll feel so aligned because you know your human design that it'll be quicker for you to actually know, yep, this is the career path that I should take and not this one. Or this is the person that I should align with and not this one. This is the project that I should do and not this one. And number 3, you will understand your triggers and your personality on a level that you no longer get worked up to the point where things would have spiraled and caused an argument with somebody. And you'll also communicate better with your friends or partner because you'll just understand yourself on a new level that will feel really insightful for yourself and for others. And they will feel it too. The key to living your life more intentionally and in alignment to your human design is truly by breaking down those 4 components, which you will see right away on your chart, and then journaling through it intentionally and applying it in different ways. You're going to apply it to who you were in the past, who you are today, and what you have in front of you, meaning what projects and decisions are lying ahead of you. On last week's podcast episode, we went over the different types of human design. So again, that tells you just like about your main energy. This is the projector, the manifesting generator, the manifestor, and the reflector. On this episode, I'm going to be giving you some journal prompts to write on to begin the process of uncovering your preconditioned self and applying your human design to your life. And we're going to start with number 2. The making quicker decisions, and that is tapping into your authority. There are 7 different kinds of authorities that you might have on your chart. Number 1 is emotional, and this is when you have clarity on a decision when you don't have a strong emotional charge. So if this is you, waiting is key, and that you should wait to make a decision until after those big emotions flow through you. I'm going to go through these pretty quick. The second one is sacral. And so this is the in the moment gut feeling of a hell yes or a hell no. Like you're going to know just by that feeling. It's like an all or nothing type feeling. Splenic is the third type of authority. This is similar to the sacral in that it's in the moment gut feeling. It's like that ping that you feel. However, it's immediately followed by fear-based questions and doubt. So the key here is listening to that inner knowing, that ping, that gut feeling before all of the fear sets in. The next is ego. And this is where you want to listen to what you're saying, what comes out of your voice, because that is your ego speaking to you. You need to actually share what you're feeling, and then you're going to know just based off of what comes out of your mouth. The next one is self-projected. This is also similar to ego, but the key here is that you need to hear yourself speaking out loud and in the moment, and it's important that you're speaking to other people. So if you can get around a community to bounce your thoughts and ideas and opinions off of other people, you will feel intuitively what the right answer is. Next is environmental. This is an interesting one. If you are in an environment that feels wrong, like the people are wrong, the energy feels wrong, this feels sticky, and then the decision is wrong. Then it is not the right decision for you, and it will help guide you to make the right decisions. If you are in an environment that feels welcoming and there's good people there and it's a good flow of energy and you're feeling it, then it's a more positive decision for you to make. And the last one is lunar. This is one that only 1% of people have. And ideally, these people wait 28 days, a full lunar cycle, before making a decision. And these people don't have the luxury to do this on short-term decisions, but on longer-term decisions or bigger decisions, they should wait at least 28 days to make that decision. So I'm going to give you 3 prompts based off of your authority. So know what your authority is, look into it a little bit, or just listen to what I just said about it. And the first prompt, and all these prompts will be in the show notes. The first one is, have I ever made a decision in this way? And if so, how did it feel? So if you didn't join the class that I hosted last week, I am a splenic authority, meaning I am that gut feeling in the moment, followed by fear and doubt and questions. I have never made a decision in this way. I always made decisions by asking other people and by making pros and cons lists and hemming and hawing and waiting probably 58 days before making a decision. So when I journaled on this, my answer was no, I never made a decision in this way. I don't know if I was taught this way or I just learned it. So it didn't feel right for me to do that. So that was my answer. For you, you may have made a decision in your authority and it felt right or wrong. There's no right or wrong way to journal through this. It's just becoming aware. The second prompt is getting you to look back and get a little bit more curious about times that you may have been denying your inner wisdom, your authority, so that you can show yourself some compassion and increase belief that you could have trusted yourself. I've shared a lot of examples about how I have been like a self-proclaimed horrible decision maker all my life. I used to say that. I'm just a horrible decision maker. You make the decision. You choose where we go to dinner. Oh, you choose that. I'll just go with the flow. And truth be told, I hated that about myself. I hated that I couldn't make a decision. I hated that it took me so long to come to a conclusion. And so when I journaled on this, the prompt is, what is a time from the past where I had trouble making a decision? Explore that time. Just jot down anything that comes to you, what bubbles up. Remember why it felt so difficult and what you ended up doing. And did you feel or hear your design speak to you? So for me, I reflected back on some of the more profound times that it took me a very long time to make a decision. And I realized that I did hear my human. I did have that ping. I did have that gut feeling. And then I immediately doubted it. And so then learning that that is my authority, that I am built to have that gut feeling and then start questioning and doubting, made me go from this place of like, I hate that I'm a horrible decision maker, to, of course, that is how I reacted and responded because that's how I am. That's how I'm designed. And I just felt like hugging that younger version of Sam, and like it felt like so much more compassion and so much trust in myself. Like I did feel that ping. I just didn't listen to it, but I could have. And so I felt a lot of optimism around that. So that was my experience. But maybe for you, if your authority of self projected, maybe did you hear yourself telling other people the answer? They just weren't responding in the way that you wanted. They weren't saying that you should do what you wanted to do. So it was hard for you to make the decision. You could have trusted yourself because you knew you were saying it, but the people around you just weren't saying it. Or if you were an emotional authority, did you make a decision when you were super emotional, but then later you felt like you did have clarity after all the emotions settled, and once that emotional high was over, you did have that clarity and you felt like you could have made that a better decision? That was your design. Like you could have listened to her, right? So just kind of look back and get curious and tune in. Have you ever heard her inside of you telling you instinctively a direction to take? And then third journal prompt is to look into the now and the future to apply your human design to your real life and to make it work for you. So the journal prompt here is, if I were to use my human design to help me make this decision, think about a decision you've got going on, what is my inner wisdom telling me to do? And just see what pops up. And it might come right away. It might not come right away. But see what flows. All of this is actually what I'm teaching inside of my Design and Decide 4-week journaling program. You learned exactly what to do today, just now, right now. And all of those prompts and the resources and whatnot are going to be in the show notes for you. But you just learned on at least the decision-making piece how to journal through at least a little bit of your human design. Inside Design and Decide, you'll learn how to do it in depth for decisions, way more, but also with your energy type and personality and alignment to feel at ease in your life while creating abundance. Like, have you ever thought, how can I create more in my life? Like, you want more, you just feel like you can't add anything more to your schedule. It's because you're not in alignment. It's because you are not in harmony with yourself and like things are clashing. Understanding yourself, your human design, and journaling through it will help you do both. It'll help you understand yourself so that you can attract more and feel at ease and calm and in alignment and peaceful through it all. So that's what you're going to get inside Design and Decide, with the accountability and support of me, a mentor who's gone through it before, and others who are learning right along with you. And that is one of the most fun parts, because once you get into this, you're going to want to tell all of your friends like what your design is and ask them. And some of them are just going to look at you like, excuse me? What are you talking about? And so it's really fun to have a group of women that you can just like nerd out and like geek out on this stuff with. So if you're curious about learning more about this program, here's a few more details for you. It's called the Design and Decide Journaling Group. It's a 4-week group to making quicker decisions by journaling through your human design and understanding yourself on a deeper level. And here's how we do it. Day 1 of each week is a workshop on a specific aspect of human design. So type, authority, profile, and strategies / the alignment feelings that I mentioned earlier. Days 2 through 5 is journaling through it. It's journaling through how we've conducted ourselves in the past and how that's felt, how this new information is resonating with us now and aligning with it, and then looking into the future and seeing, like with the decisions, what decisions do we have to make and how can we make those decisions by being aligned with it? But also with the personality and our energy, how can we realign with our energy given our future and what we've got going on in our life and like looking ahead. So think of it as past, current, alignment, and future. It's super interesting. I have all of the prompts already laid out. It's super juicy. So that's days 2 through 5. Today, you got a glimpse of the authority journal prompts, but again, we're going to dive into the type, which is energy, preconditioned personality, so many good things. You're going to get those 4 weekly workshops, 4 journal prompts a week, a community to chat about all of your revelations and the oohs and ahs over everybody else's, additional resources shared just because so much comes up where you're going to want more insight on if your profile personality is a 6 and a 2, like you're a hermit and you're the opportunist or something. So I will be sharing tons and tons of good resources on those things. And I already have a whole list of bonus prompts just in case any of my prompts don't resonate with you, or you're a go-getter and you want to journal way more on more things with your human design. There's a whole section for that. And this is going to eventually be a program separately, but right now it's going to be inside of Emotionally Empowered, which is a space to help you in your season of life. And so there will be an area too for you to chime in if you want, totally optional, on what you're going through and to get the opportunity for help and guidance and just community support and to journal prompts for your specific season of your life. So this all goes down starting June 3rd, which I feel like is perfect timing because it's the start of summer, and with summer ramping up with activities, events, and get-togethers, it's going to be busy, but you will feel calmer since you will be going through this, and you're going to be able to decide what is for you and not for you quicker. You're going to feel so aligned that you will know how to show up, what you want to show up to and for and what you don't. So this summer will feel easier for you. You will feel more aligned. You will feel more connected with those around you. It's going to be incredible. If you are listening to this and wondering if you are a good fit for this or not, this ideally is for the woman who is interested in or already loves learning about who she is at her core before her family and society conditioned her to believe and behave in certain ways because she is exhausted. You are exhausted with all that is on your plate. And you know that if you could make quicker decisions and get out of decision fatigue, your life could be slightly or a lot easier and smoother and feel better. The next step, if this all feels really great for you, was to sign up for an emotional design audit call with me, but those spots all filled up within the first 5 days of me sharing that on my social media, on my Instagram. So now the next step, if you're interested in joining, is to click the link in my show notes to sign up for the Design and Decide waitlist. And so I will reach out to you by email or messenger, your preference. You'll fill out that information on the form. And once the program is officially open with details and all the things, I will be reaching out to you that way. I am so excited. I'm like geeking out all over again, like just as excited I was when I first learned about this. And so I hope that you feel that and are also excited. I hope to see you on the wait list and ultimately inside Decide and Design. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that this week is a much smoother week and a better week for all of you.